the rarefied world of fashion, socks aren't exactly a byword for sexy, seductive or even stylish. And yet, where would we be without them? Especially when they might just save the world. Fashion is the second most polluting industry on the planet. Every year, textile manufacturing produces 5.8 million tonnes of waste in Europe alone. And France has the second worst track record in the EU as far as recycling is concerned. For over 10 years now, Marcia de Carvalho has been trying to do something about that with her project Chaussettes Orphelines, or Orphaned Socks in English. Today, she's showing off her hard work at Paris's town hall.
It's amazing. We're so happy to be in such a beautiful place to talk about the really important issue of reducing our waste production. To talk about another sustainable way of doing fashion. In my family, we've always recycled. It's almost as if it's in my DNA. We're keenly aware of the position the planet's in. How can fashion be anything other than responsible?
Marcia is originally from Brazil and moved to the diverse Goutte d'Or district of Paris in 2001. 7 years later, she launched Chaussettes Orphelines after noticing an extraordinary number of odd socks in her children's underwear drawer.
We collect socks because smaller clothing items actually make up a huge proportion of clothing waste. Only 10% of all socks produced end up being recycled. It's really important for us to concentrate on these smaller items.
And this woman's dressed entirely in recycled clothes.
Yes. She's got her little jacket, the shorts, the top. And actually, even those strips decorating the shoes are actually made of socks. And she's also got this little tool. That's because we've got this theme called Men at Work. It means we're working on innovation to find solutions. And yes, if you could move the tool a bit, just so we can see. Yes, it's important people can see it clearly. I think it's interesting. Yes, perfect.
Marcia has named her collection Issue de Secours, or Emergency Exit, and took photos of the familiar signs on Parisian buses to create a series of works on recycled fabric. This is a woman determined to do things differently. The first items in this collection tell the story of the way we're destroying our planet. The tights are ripped, the dresses in shreds. But then comes the time for rebuilding, with humanity deciding to take action through the act of recycling. Old socks are transformed into soft and versatile fabrics.
How many socks does it take to make a jumper like that? It depends on the weight of the jumper, because it requires the same weight in socks. We take the socks and turn them into thread. So if you have a kilogram of socks, you can make about a kilo of thread, maybe even a little more because we add recycled wool to improve our finished product. So that gives you enough to make a kilogram heavy jumper. Generally speaking, a single sock weighs 30 grams. So you've got to do the maths to see how many you need for 300 grams of thread. How many do you need for 300 grams? Is it 300 socks?
In socks, the different fibres are mixed together. There's polyester, cotton, linen. How do you separate out the stuff that you want?
We don't separate by fabrics. We do separate out the different colors. And that's what happens at our sorting centers. We're actually hoping to establish a social integration center too. We separate the socks out by color, which means we avoid the dyeing phase. The dyeing process uses up a lot of water. Our lighter colored stock consists largely of sports socks, which means that the light threads we produce are richer in cotton. And in our darker sock stock, there are more woolen socks, so naturally, the darker colors have a higher wool content. So we have a real mix of wool, cotton, a bit of polyester, and a bit of elastine too, because our thread retains that stretchy quality that socks have.
Every week, Chaussettes Orphelines hosts a workshop aimed at helping disadvantaged women get back into the world of work. And the kids are catered for too, with classes offered on experimental textile recycling.
The next step is to improve the amount of socks we collect. We pick up a lot of stock from businesses, and that's extremely important, because it gets people talking about what we're doing. That's to say, recycling everything. Sooner or later, people just give in. If the aim is to get people recycling more generally, this sort of movement is perfect. Socks can really get people thinking about what it really means that we're producing too much waste.
A Parisian samba band accompanies the show's finale. The energetic percussion providing fun but also urgency to proceedings. The message, it's time to start consuming responsibly and recycling everything. One person's old socks can be someone else's new favourite jumper.
Because a new page of history gets written every day. Because breaking news can't wait. Information everywhere. In all situations. On every subject. Understanding the world. Imagining the world. France 24. A different take on the news.